líbrate la mente, y grita lo que sientes, grita lo que sientes, líbrate la mente, líbrate la mente, líbrate la mente. Siempre real y sincero, de Copenhague hasta el Caribe, siempre real y sincero.
Assalamu alaikum, adab, good evening and welcome. A warm welcome to the show, Happy Empathy Hour.
Have you noticed I start smiling already?
Yes, I could see that. Can you all hear me? I just want to make sure the sound is fine. So, welcome to Happy Empathy Hour live on Radio Dawn 107.6 FM. And just to let you know, we are live on YouTube as well simultaneously. So we are here.
So before we introduce our guests,
Yeah.
how have you been for the week?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Pam?
Well, I can hear a lot better now.
Really?
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
I hope you're in the camera.
I've been famous now. Yeah, so apart from that, everybody's okay.
All right.
So today we got a guest as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
He's been on our show before.
Right.
Was it this year?
Yes, it was in April this year.
I'm sorry. Mic a little bit closer. Okay, so just to say, we are your host as usual from 4 to 5 p.m. Pam and Mashal.
Yeah.
So we are here to bring you another insightful episode filled with meaningful conversations, stories that matter, and some joy and laughter, of course. Right, Pam?
Yes, but before we start, we would like to say if you're driving, please be careful. If you got kids in the car, try and let them behave themselves, but keep your eye on the road. And it's also getting very cold as well.
Right.
So what we don't want is accident on the road. And if you're listening, be careful.
Very good message. Very good message to start of evening 4 to 5. Yes, and I just want you, to whoever want to be a part of conversations, we are here on 4 to 5 Radio Dawn 107.6 FM live, and you can watch us on YouTube live also, whoever is watching YouTube live now. So first of all, if you want to be a part of our conversation, you can note down our telephone lines, which is 0115 8411 800 and 0115 8411 900. Simultaneously, you can call us on our WhatsApp number also, or send messages if you have any questions for our guest. And by the time whoever is watching YouTube would have known who's the guest, but I will give a formal introduction. So it's 073-1213-9494 WhatsApp number, right, ma'am?
Right.
Yes. So today we are excited to have a special guest, Kiran. Kiran, right? Hi,
Yes,
good
it's
evening.
Kiran.
From Nottingham University Hospitals and from the vaccine department.
Thank you.
Kiran will be welcome, a warm welcome, Pam, right?
He
Okay.
already got a warm welcome anyway. So
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. She has gone down, to greet you.
Yes, she did.
So you've been on before
I've been
when Maham was here.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have you back again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Most welcome.
And as you know, we talk a lot about the NHS as well.
Yeah.
I do anyway. So I was there again last week.
Right,
So,
right.
we must learn to respect the NHS, the staff, and everything else. And the
Yes.
staff is not there to be abused or anything. So when we go for treatment, the other thing is, before we talk to our guests, if it's not an emergency, please go into the walk-in center. You have got one on Derby Road, and you have got one on London Road as well. Non-emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. Right. Thank you.
That's very good. So, Kiran will be sharing with us some important insights about vaccines today. We had last week Tracy and Mark on our show, and they shared a very good, it was a very good topic about winter. So, vaccines, Kiran will be sharing with us today the importance of vaccines, some tackling misconceptions about vaccines, and discussing an incredible work NUH and NHS is doing, as Pam mentioned, to promote health and well-being in our community, which is very important.
So would you like to tell us a little bit more so our listener know what
Yeah.
you do and everything, please?
So I've started to work in the vaccination hub since December 2020. It was 8th of December exactly, I remember. So it was the first ever vaccine that was introduced for COVID when it started the year before, and it was causing lots of havoc, death, and it was important for the scientists to develop a vaccine. So we started to do vaccine to protect people, protect our patients, protect our community and our children, for our to reduce the mortality rate.
Okay, that is good though. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, we're talking about vaccine at the moment today. Why is it so important? We have the fact, is it the winter flu? Is it the virus that is going around?
Yes.
Why is it so important?
So, as I mentioned earlier, the main reason for getting our vaccine, we are giving it preventively, so people have got antibodies to protect themselves against certain diseases like flu. As you know, the COVID just started, and during this winter time, there are two other viruses that are affecting people. It's another respiratory virus called RSV. And also, we are talking about noroviruses that is affecting lots of people as well.
Right. Because one of the biggest fear that people is going to have at the moment as well, because so many of them take the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, they're
Yes.
frightened of taking it again
Yes.
because the underlying health issues, and when you listen to them, and
Yes.
so many die. What would you?
I would say if somebody came to get the vaccine and they've talked about the experience, so different people have got different experiences with vaccines, and like many other medication, the vaccine doesn't come with side effects.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they go for the vaccine for the first time, they develop the side effects, and all the side effect feels like as if you're having the disease.
Yeah.
But actually, none of the vaccine will give you the disease. So because of these side effects, and everybody, when they talk about, I was very poorly after the vaccine, so then people start getting worried.
Yeah.
If I go for the next one, I'm going to get poorly again, so we don't want the vaccines. However, before the COVID vaccine came, you would probably have seen on the tele how many people died because we didn't have any vaccines then. Unfortunately, it's not like bacterial infections where you could go to the doctors and say, right, you need some antibiotics. But
Right.
with the viruses, it's difficult to provide treatment. Also, very specific viruses have got antiviral treatment, but some of them we can't produce any certain treatment. So hence why we got to have the vaccine preventively
Mhm.
to get antibodies to protect us.
Yeah, so that's the actually myths and the misconceptions, like
Yes.
which is built up a fear in the people, I believe.
It is.
And I believe that happened mostly about the COVID-19,
Yes.
right? If it
Yes.
is, if I'm not wrong, the
Yes.
COVID-19, and after that the effects, and the people have got this misconception. But how do you normally address to the community and the people and to make them comfortable? Yes. No,
So at work, we've got a group. We've got a group of multicultural staff, inclusive staff. So whenever they come, so we try and talk to them if they come with any fear. So we do have occasions where we would give them all our time to talk about the vaccines and what are the fears. And like today, you have invited me to come to talk to on the radio. We do we go and talk about vaccines in other places. Even for new starters, we have got sessions for when we give the induction, so we go and talk about vaccines. So basically what we introduce ourselves, we introduce the vaccines, and then we ask them to ask this question, what are the fears? So when they talk about the fears, then we try to answer and explain to them. So hopefully it does help. I mean, none of the vaccine are compulsory or will be forced on somebody. So
That's
Right,
good.
okay,
That's
yeah.
a good reassurance
Yeah,
as well.
so as far they've got the reassurance, we are there to help them with any information that they are not sure about. So it's like when the COVID vaccine came, it came so fast, and everybody was saying, it's not been tested. What we know about it from the research, from all the research that has happened, there were 44,000 people involved in this research itself in 4 different countries, compared to other researchers where it's difficult to get 44,000 people in 9 months to a year. So it has been properly tested. It has been it's been proven it's safe. However, because it has been just introduced, so there are certain things that different people get with certain vaccines. So when it gets reported, then we tend to add it, and we try and understand it before we carry on with the vaccine.
So one of the most important thing, as I said, when I talk about the NHS, I can only talk about my experience, nobody else.
No.
And I find out when I was at the hospital a few weeks ago for my operation, I want to thank this staff, as you says, our fear of the operation where I was go, because I talked to the staff and the consultant. They listen. And then they give me time to go and think about it for me to come back. So the fear is that with everybody else with the injection, just to express your feelings to the staff of how you feel, whether you're elderly, adults or children. They will listen, and you will not force anyone.
Nobody will be forced to do any treatment, to have anything that they don't want.
So is there any group of communities like they need an extra support on these to convince them and to understand? Like there could be communities and groups which needs more of your, it's like challenging for you and understanding and awareness on these vaccines.
So the main group that we are working with is the worldwide majority group that we are working on. We have to work more with them, because some of them hear about things from each other, and then any experience like getting poorly with vaccines frightens them. You'll be surprised there are lots of nurses and doctors are frightened of needles.
That's something quite news for me. I'm hearing first time.
I know they're frightened of the vaccine as well. A lot of sorry to disturb you. A lot of people who see needle, especially children as well, they run a mile. I do.
Honestly, I'm also scared of needles, but doctors and nurses.
So you're braver than us, probably. You're still coming for it. However, nurses and doctors give the injections, and they do. If you think about it, before being nurses and doctors, it could have been different adults, different teenagers. So you don't know what experience they've gone through. So the mind always have got that fear. So like you laughed at it. So, I used to think about it as well and thinking, why is it happening? However, they've been different type of people before with different experiences.
One of the issues now we're going to have now, the winter is coming in, and with the winter cold, and it's a lot of people that I talk to, their children is coughing, and something is wrong with them. What support and not so much advice would you say from a care professional?
So from us is mainly, if you think any of your kids have got high temperatures, or they are poorly for more than 13 years, they're getting dehydrated, I would say always call for advice. There is a numbers 111 who will always support you there. In terms of vaccines, what we know in terms of COVID vaccine, so the most vulnerable people are the older adults. So if we are getting the vaccine, so I get the vaccine because I work with older adults, and I want to protect them. So it's not just about me, it's about who is around me. And also selfishly, I don't want to bring anything home to my kids. So during COVID time, we knew that the kids were safer in terms of getting these infections. It was the older adults that were more affected. However, the kids were getting COVID and probably not showing showing the worst symptoms.
Okay.
So they could be people who will spread it to older adults.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So I work with COVID patients all the time. It was there. However, I got it because my son brought it from school.
Okay.
So, so this is how we have to. So we started to also give vaccine to the kids, so they have got some protection. So, like older adults, they could have some health conditions. The younger kids could have health conditions, so they were more at risk as well. So the criteria for giving vaccines, getting COVID vaccine, is anybody who's above 65 are
Okay.
getting it. Even for the flu vaccine has come to that age now.
Yeah.
And anybody younger than 65, if they have got a health condition that makes them vulnerable, at
Yeah.
risk,
Yeah.
or their immune system is weakened, so they are eligible for the vaccine as well. So we were giving vaccine from 5 years old to 12 years old, and then recently they've developed a dose for younger kids from 6 months to 4
Oh,
years.
really?
So yeah,
For infants also they have developed. Yeah?
so it's from 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Before it was not for infants, what I recall.
No,
yeah.
they did, because I would say it's only a year now they've introduced it, because there are lots of parents who are keen to have their
Protection for
infant
them.
For the
protected,
Yeah.
especially if they have got to be in hospital a long time. As we know, in hospital, a lot of things. There's lots of the environment itself is full of
Yeah.
With different people and different
so
illnesses as well.
it can spread easily.
Yeah.
So they want to protect their kids. So for me, talking to the community. So if you get vaccinated, so I always say the thing. If I get vaccinated, I protect 3 people. That these 3 people, if they get vaccinated, they protect another 9 people. If we carried on like that, so we will get a community who are safe. So getting the vaccine, another myth about it, doesn't mean you will
Yeah.
not get the disease. However, if you get it, it will be you would have less symptoms, or you will have less severe symptoms compared to the person who's not been vaccinated. So this person can be admitted in hospital, but you will have antibodies protecting you, so you will be safe at home.
Yeah, I can-
You'll manage it at home better.
Yeah.
The other thing, my biggest concern is if you got elderly people or
Yes.
you're single and you have the vaccine and you live on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. So we don't know if they're going to be sick there, and
Yes.
especially if you got family and you don't
Yes.
see them.
Yes.
What would you say to us who live on our own and have the vaccine? What would be in place?
So if our group, so our hub we were dealing with people who were allergic to
Mhm.
vaccines. So we had a way of ringing them and talking to them if they had any concerns. So we give them our we've got on-call numbers, so we could speak to them if there was any
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
So if any of the older adult has come to us to say, look, I'm worried about giving it because I'm on my own, so we will find a way of speaking to them, getting to them, or also give them the right details,
Yeah.
who to contact if you had any
Okay.
problems.
So you
That's a myth I have noticed in vulnerable and elderly people in the
Yeah.
circle and the community friends. I
Yes.
know some of them have, they have got I know that COVID vaccine for vulnerable 60s and above,
Yes,
they are all getting every year, I believe now.
at present we are doing it,
Yeah.
yes.
But there's some of them, they have a myth or some misconception, as I must say,
Mm.
that this vaccine every year is not good for them, and there is some
Right.
risk factor
Yes, yes.
for them.
So
What could be the risk factors? I just want to know.
So what I would say about it, first of all, I would thank every older adult or anybody who is eligible for flu vaccine, go and get the flu vaccine.
All right.
So you'll be surprised. So many people are very conscious that they need to have their flu vaccine every year. So the GP will send them a message, right? You're eligible for your flu vaccine. Please come and get it. So the reason why we have it every year is because the previous vaccine we had was working with a different variant of the virus.
Yeah.
However, what has happened this year, the virus has become more clever, has changed to something that the previous vaccine won't help you with. So hence why having the vaccine change to something else see, it is a flu vaccine itself,
Yeah.
but what they put in it, the ingredient to protect you against the new variant of that virus. So the risk factor so what we know about older adults is their immune system is gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
So anybody who above 65 can get the vaccine every 91 days, or if there's a program running. And because the immune system goes down, the antibody level or the immunity weakens. So we have to keep on giving them vaccine to protect them. There is very less risk factors about it, apart from the side effects we talk about.
Okay.
But then
Yeah.
again, everything got a
Yeah,
side
so
effect, isn't it?
the side effects can be tackled. Yeah, and managed,
Yes, so
yeah.
side effects. If you look at the paracetamol
Yeah,
tablet,
yeah.
have a look at the list, please, and you'll see there's a long list of side effects. But do people get it? It depends on how
don't.
strong you are, how your immune system is. However, if we don't give the older adults the vaccine,
Yeah.
what will happen is if they were affected, they will be very, very severely ill.
Yeah, and at the moment it's winter, and the
Yes.
hospital
Yes.
going to be
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
Hospital
Yeah.
being overwhelmed, but also, if they could stay away from hospital, we
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah.
And the world is, our older adults generation is becoming bigger and bigger. So we've got to find ways of protecting them and keeping them safe. So, like I say, I get the vaccine because I want to protect the people I work with, and this is the main thing. It's not just like a selfish way of thinking. Oh, I'm just protecting myself. It's not
No,
that.
it's because you have to wear a mask because we
Yes.
breathe as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
So you're
everything
actually, honestly, you're protecting everyone around you.
Yes. So
The safer the environment, the safer.
So by protecting everybody around, the people in the community are safe.
Yes.
So people who come in the hospital, they get out of the hospital quicker. They don't have to stay too long or prolonged stay, and they go to their own environment where they are happier. If you're in your own environment, I work at hospital because I love working, but I've got to do it, and this is my job. But if I could stay at home and my days off, I enjoy staying at home. So imagine these children, older people, older adults have to go there because they are unwell. So if they were not unwell at all, they won't be there. So
yeah, I can see where you're coming from as well. Anyway, I think Britain is very good with the NHS
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So all I'm saying, let's not abuse the NHS
Thank
because
you.
we are very lucky to able to walk into an emergency and be seen. Sometimes the waiting can be very long as well.
Yes.
'Cause when you look all over the world, it's so expensive.
Yes.
It is.
So let's not abuse the system.
I think
Yeah.
the NHS is doing everything they could do to understand frustration. To
Yeah.
not, so we might have a bad day, but that doesn't mean you have to
Yeah.
disrespect somebody else
Yes.
because you've had a bad day. So, but then the other person should, when listening,
Yeah.
could be better to deal with the person who is frustrated.
Yeah.
So this is
Yes.
what we're working a lot. So nobody's perfect, but we are not perfect either. But we want to make sure that our community is safe.
Yeah. So do you think as being as an individuals, or we, like, of course, Pam, myself, or anyone, or individuals in the community,
Yes.
can contribute on this to because I can understand there are a lot of challenges, misconceptions, but with
Yes.
the vaccinations, especially after the COVID-19.
Yeah.
So spreading any awareness and combating this misconception about vaccines, can
Yes.
we as a community assist
Yes.
NHS?
So the reason why we come here is to so if one if two of you understand what the misconception is, why it is wrong, so then, because you got the community, we want you to carry on doing the same. So promoting. I mean, like I say, nobody's going to be forced to have the vaccine, but at least they understand the misconception.
But it's there.
It's
It's
there.
there if they
Yes.
want it.
Yes.
Yes. And we can leave. So you Pam knows where to find us. If there's anything we can help with,
Yes.
we would always help people to make sure that they are safe.
Can I expand
Machine.
on that little while?
Go on then.
What do you mean? I know where to find it.
Yeah.
It's been to see the
Yes,
CEO.
yes, she is.
So,
She is, guidance for everything.
Yes,
She is a
yes.
book, kind of a book for
of
and all,
course.
everything.
From the NHS, we are grateful that we have
Yeah.
people like that to help
Yes.
us. And,
And
it's not just us in the hospital, it's everybody around us.
Yeah.
So,
Just what put me on, high regards, the way she regards the NHS staff, and she's always concerned about the
Yes.
staff safety, security, and not to abuse the staff. Every
Yes.
time on her show, she keeps on
yes.
mentioning about it. And this really, something
We-
extraordinary
so
she does.
We are so grateful that we have people like
Yes.
and yourself.
Thank you
And
so much.
We as nurses and doctors and anybody who works in NHS want to do our best for our people, our community. So we do work for it. And for me, if somebody's with a positive experience after getting the vaccine, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? I didn't
Yes.
tell you what I did I?
What?
When I went to the hospital.
Go
You
on,
told
then.
me half the part of the story.
Yeah, you don't know this
I
bit.
really, and she was telling me half the part of the story. I didn't got the, the puzzles right, and I was sure she's going to tell me on the show on air right now.
Yeah, we want to hear positive things.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to really. She
Yeah.
is so positive.
When I went, I didn't tell you this. I only tell you about the chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the chocolate. It's only one of them go lick a chocolate.
Bless
Fancy NHS for my chocolate.
Oh, bless you.
You know. So what I did is I get because I asked, I've got to email the voluntary service because
Yes.
it said I would love to come in
Yes.
to come and do some voluntary work.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Especially on the ward with elderly and
Yes.
everything else.
Oh,
because-
I always thank the
Yeah.
people who come to do the volunteer job. They give their time. They give some of the oldest adult I've seen there. She said she was nearly 90 and she was nearly 88 or something. She was doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
She has been doing it. You mentioned last time also, right, on your show. You have been doing it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Because don't forget, I'm a qualified carer as
Yeah.
well.
Ah.
And
And-
I'm surprised you just mentioned about somebody 85 years.
Yes. So
You'd be
she came.
surprised what they can do.
Yes, so she
Yeah.
came to get her vaccine, and I could not stop listening to her, and she was happy to be there because sometimes being alone at home
Yes.
doesn't help. So she
Yeah.
was there guiding people, and everybody who was sat waiting for their vaccine, they could listen to her, and they were so happy to hear her talk and what she was doing. So we thank all the volunteer people every time, what they do and giving us their time. It's very, very, very nice of them to do that.
That's so good, actually. So, like you have shared this one experience with us. Can you share any experience with our audience, especially and an important moment from where you work in your department, and like you felt something like impactful or something like
Yeah.
you have, sometimes you have a job satisfaction.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. I enjoy my work, and everybody says to me, "Why are you always laughing? Oh, he's not stressed."
I could.
But because I enjoy it, it comes from the heart. And for me, having my colleagues, some of them I don't know, some of them I know, some of them know me, and I might have forgotten. But when they come and they talk to you and they want you to be there to help them, it makes me happy. And the first ever time we started to do the COVID vaccine, we started for the 80 older adults, 80 plus older adults. So how pleased they were to get out of the house.
Oh,
When there was this
isolation.
quarantine, isolation,
Yeah, oh my
they could not get out of the house. And the first time ever they came to get the vaccine, and I was asking questions, So
Yeah.
you were born during the World War, and what was your experience? I just love listening to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from because a lot of elderly people, no matter what community you're in,
Yes.
loneliness is one of the biggest
Yes.
problems.
And that time during the COVID,
Yeah,
it was a
they
lot
did.
of depression they were
Yes.
going through.
even
Yes.
in care home as well.
Yes.
Even though they say, so I do understand how elderly
Yeah,
people feel.
So that was like very, very positive for me. Listening to them, they were so grateful.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Oh, they
it.
were so grateful that they were getting the vaccine. They were protected. And I tell you, this needle phobia, this injection pain after injection,
Yeah.
they don't know that. They've gone through difficult
Yes,
situations,
yes.
and for them, it's just normal. I need to get my vaccine, they go and get it.
It's like when I go to my GP, want to see how many elderly people is there. But when I go to visit the receptionist, I talk to them.
Yes, yes.
Because, as I said, they can go days or a week without seeing anybody. And then they got children, grandchildren, and they don't see them at all.
Yes, yes.
So loneliness is a big thing.
It is,
Yeah,
it is,
it
it
is.
is. So, when they come to the ward, all our staff try, to make them feel, I mean, it's not home, but at least they know we are there for them. I just, if I'm walking from one end, so if I'm looking after the six adults on one side, I just walk to the other side. And I just wave at everybody I know, and I talk to everybody I could, and a lot of relatives. I also help any older people in my community. So, at present, I know somebody's lost his wife, so I kept on making sure that he knows we
He's
are
okay.
there for him, and if he needed anything, he knows he's got he can call me for anything I can help him with. So,
Yeah, but you're showing human kindness anyway.
Yes.
So, I always said you only can talk about what you do. Don't look at what somebody else
Okay,
does.
that's 100% right.
You know.
I was told I was brought up like that, so that's
Yeah.
what I do.
So, as I said, thank the Almighty Creator
Yeah.
that we have got this ability to help people
Yes.
and to
Yeah.
support
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And especially we have people like him, the way he's talking and making smile, and the way he's treating, and he's talking about his experiences. So we are glad that we have people like this in NHS, and
But have you noticed as well? Look how relaxed he is.
yeah,
He's
that's
very
what.
relaxed.
Sometimes if you see stressful people, they make you more stressed if you're panicking.
Maybe the first time I was, but knowing I was coming to people I know, I mean, I don't. At first time I met
Yeah.
you, but I know you're like
Yes.
when I saw you.
First time I met you, and I'm glad to meet you, honestly.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Anybody been around me, they
Yeah.
can't be miserable, can they?
Oh yes, that's for sure. No
And
doubt
we
about
got
it.
Pam in front of us,
No
of
doubt,
course.
no doubt about it. Yeah, and one more thing, like I want to ask you on advancements of the new vaccines,
Yes.
which are on the horizon at
Yes,
the
yes.
moment. So that would be like what could be, which we should be as an audience or our listeners should be aware of.
So, the COVID vaccine, when it was developed, there was this new platform called the mRNA vaccines.
Yeah.
So this is what they're using to produce any other vaccine that. So, like, there's a norovirus, which is. I went to give vaccine in the wards recently, and there were 2 or 3 wards that was closed with norovirus. So norovirus is one of the situation where people struggle with diarrhea and vomiting.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot in the ward because it's spread from one person to the other. It can happen in the community. So they are developing an mRNA vaccine for that. So if people
Oh, really? What is just
it's a norovirus.
Okay, norovirus. Yes,
yes.
I've read about it.
Every
yes.
year our wards are closed with admission, so we can't admit people in that ward when there's this such infection going on. So
Mhm.
they're developing a new vaccine. They're
Okay.
developing
So that norovirus cold what's coming around is on the increase at the moment.
It's an increase. So you probably have heard of the RSV, where there's a new vaccine that they have introduced to give to anybody who's 75 onwards,
Okay.
and also they give it for anybody who's pregnant. And basically, what they say is there are certain vaccines that we will give the pregnant women. So if the mom was infected with something and didn't have the vaccine, it can
Mhm.
spread to the infant, to the
Okay.
kid. So then it can cause death. So we had whooping cough that was in
For the expectant mother, you're
yeah.
talking.
So that if the expectant mother is not vaccinated,
Okay.
it could spread that disease to the newborn
The
child,
newborn child, okay.
and then cause death.
All right. That's
So there was
so death for the child
for the
and
infant,
infant.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, zero. So there's a.
And what about the mother?
So the mother is safe.
Okay.
If she has a disease, she can protect herself. It's an adult
Okay,
who's got stronger
fair-faced.
immunity.
Yeah.
Right.
However, the infant, when they first come in, they don't have that strong immunity. So
Okay.
they've got to build that immunity. So that's why we have to give vaccine after a certain amount of months. They go and get the vaccine to get that immunity. And it's like the whooping cough, if you heard about measles, went up recently only. The reason why it went up is because people who didn't have the vaccine previously, then the disease came and started spreading quickly. The whooping cough, not many pregnant women were having the whooping cough vaccine. So if you go to your midwife or antenatal clinic, they will say, right, you need to have the flu vaccine, you need to have your whooping cough vaccine. Now they are giving them the RSV vaccine. So it's just to protect their babies, so they don't spread the infection to the babies. And the whooping cough, only from the beginning when we started. So I would say from last November, October, December till when I read was there was 20 infants that passed away in the UK because of whooping cough.
I can remember my children when they were younger, they used to have to vaccinate against the whooping cough.
Yeah.
Could you explain to our listeners as well, since
Yeah.
we're talking about whooping cough, the
Yeah.
sign and symptoms? Because I
Yeah.
know that I had to have my children them infect, cause the
Yeah.
coughing and the
Yeah.
Because the mothers who are,
Yes.
they are like, some mothers are having just first child and all,
Yeah.
so they
Yes.
can be more careful and take
Yes.
precautions and all that.
So when they come for their appointments, the midwife, the antenatal clinic will talk about this vaccine.
All
So the
right.
whooping cough, what it brings is mainly it's like this special sound cough. That's why they call it whooping. So you might not hear the part of the cough sound, and the person, the kid or the mother who is affected, or so basically us staff who work with any patient who's got it, we can spread to us. So we will have high temperatures, and the cough, the
Yeah.
specific cough
Yeah.
is there. So that's the main thing that you need to observe for.
Okay.
And sometimes when they have the whooping cough and have a milk or something, they cough it up as well, doesn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
So,
So when they have temperature, they could be dehydrated,
Yeah.
and then the appetite goes down. So things like that. So we have it's very classical with a lot of the illnesses. So
Right.
like that, this RSV does the same.
Yeah.
So the RSV, it says that any kid under 2 years old would have suffered from RSV, but we were not. We don't test it, so it's like it's a common cold and cough disease. So this is a reason why we want to protect the moms. By giving the vaccine, it protects their kids, and then we give the older adults these vaccines because by giving their immune system goes down. So this will help protect them until the cold weather is here. So the main reason during cold weather we get all these virus because it's the right environment for them to multiply.
yeah.
So, if you think about when we were wearing masks during COVID time,
Right.
the influenza disease never was there because,
Yeah.
while we were breathing out to ourselves,
Correct.
not coughing in our mask, not giving it to people, so it was not spreading.
Yes.
So now we're not wearing masks. So, I mean, there's a reason why we're not wearing masks. So there's no need for wearing it at present. But if your immune system is weak, you're affected by it.
I think one of my biggest concern at the moment all over the world,
Yes.
and with the winter fuel at the moment, a lot of people, they're electric, they won't have any eating, they won't have a diet. How the hospital going to deal with all of these emergencies?
I mean, when I used to work in an acute medical ward for older adults, so every winter time you could see all these older people coming with pneumonia. So RSV can cause pneumonia, it can cause bronchiolitis in kids. So this is where it can get worse, and then people have to be in hospital. So the elder people, because the older people, adults, because the immune system is low, they will get affected. So hence why, say it was my mom and dad, or it was a relative I was going to see. So if I'm not vaccinated and I've got temperature, I will not go and visit them. So because I could spread it to them, and anybody who's having any treatment that makes the immune system go down, they need to do the same. So don't go to although these older adults are well, you could spread something to them, and then
Right.
so although they've got the vaccine, but the antibodies level never stays high like for young people. So this is the difference. by getting my vaccine, like I say, I'm protecting anybody who's around who's more at risk.
Yeah, but at the end, this winter is going to be cold
Yeah.
because a lot of people hasn't got no
Yes.
heating, they can't have food,
Yes.
and they have to wrap up warm. Never
Yeah.
mind if some of them hasn't got no relatives to go and
Mm.
check on them, and even if you
Yes.
have kids,
Yes.
sometimes kids don't even want to know their parents.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
You know, so
You'd be surprised, the amount of neighbors I see coming to visit their next neighbor who's not very well. They are the one who does more for the people. Like, when I see this, it makes me happy, makes me grateful. But then, like you said, there are some people who have
Yeah.
not got that advantage.
Yeah.
So
Heating issues and
Yeah.
homeless people, especially in the
Yes.
yeah,
in the
it's
Netherlands.
like my
Yes.
heating not working and still
Yeah.
waiting for a plumber, and it's very hard to get a plumber. But at least I got a heater in the bedroom.
Yes. So please make sure you keep warm.
Yes, God
Oh,
protect
I got my
you.
hot water bottle.
Keeps
Good.
it.
Good.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm glad that you came because
Yeah.
we are talking about something that some people don't want to
Yes.
talk about or
Yes.
hear at all.
Definitely.
So I always said talking about things because I can talk about
Yeah.
it. I'm not qualified.
Yes.
So we get qualified.
yes.
No.
We get it from the right people, and
Yes.
you hear it from right now.
Yeah.
And our audience and the listeners, because there are so many and the communities listening,
Yeah, but they're
And
not
they-
phoning in.
yeah.
Yeah.
and they may be not aware of what the conversation we had today.
Yes.
So many things they must not be aware,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's kind of awareness for them as well.
It is.
Yes.
And also remember, I know when people go on Google to find information. Yes, the
Yeah.
information there, but please make sure you go on the government
Yeah.
.gov UK website
Dot
to
com.
find information about
Yeah.
certain things rather than going to any other information.
A lot of
Right.
people are doing that though.
Yeah,
They're
yes.
Googling it
Yes.
and
And,
treating themselves as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also, we've got the British Islamic Medical Association.
All right.
They have got lots of information that will give to people who are worried about, and
Yes.
mainly gov.uk website. And,
Yeah, just to remind our listeners who are listening to us, this is British Islamic
medical
Medication.
association.
Medical Association. You can go to their website
Yes.
and check on
Yes.
that for this.
So it's called the short for BIMA.
Short for
So BIMA.
BIMA.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
The other thing is chemists. Apparently now chemists can do certain things, isn't it? You don't
Yes.
have to go
Yeah.
to the hospital. Could you explain a few things?
Yeah. So,
Yes, recently I was also experiencing this. The doctors were saying, "Yeah, please approach to your nearest chemist."
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the chemists, yes,
Yeah.
which I've been telling you about.
Yes. Now don't talk about my problem on it.
I'm not.
Bless you. No. So they are certain,
She's always very good guide. She always keep on guiding me.
This is the thing. If we can guide somebody to the right place to go to find solution to their problem,
Yes.
this is mainly it.
Yes.
So, I know lots of GPs are not doing the COVID vaccine, but if they could guide the people right who to ring. So I know there was a different number before when the COVID was
Yeah.
fully affecting people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll interrupt you here, but what is the reason that most of the GPs are not doing it?
Well, probably they've got other pressures that they need.
Okay, the staff strains
Yeah,
and all.
staff strains. So, and then also probably, to give the vaccines, they need to have their staff. They need to pay them. So
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
they're finding it difficult with what the government is giving them to pay for their staff to give the vaccines. Hence, they very less people are doing it. Some chemists are doing it, which is good. Some GPs are doing it, and also we are doing as a hospital hub. So we were the only hub in Nottingham who would do people who were allergic to vaccine, who had serious allergies, because we are close to A&E. If something happened, we would be able to guide them. So we actually, as a Nottingham University Hospital, we've done 200,000 vaccines since we started
Wow.
in December 2020. So
That's quite a big number.
yeah, so we are quite grateful that we were given this opportunity. We were also given an award only this month because we did the program for the flu vaccine to the government introduced this make every encounter count. So basically, I'm coming to the hospital on my appointment. So we, as a hub, have got the list of the appointments. So we will send a message to these people. If you are eligible for your flu vaccine, please come to the hub. We're doing it today. So they come to us. We do the vaccine together. So
That's good.
yeah. So we've done nearly like 1,000 more vaccine that we would have done for the community, for people who are coming for their appointments. Hence, we were offered an award for it. So we are grateful that we are recognized, but also, we are so grateful to everybody who come for the vaccine, and are so grateful that we are giving the vaccine. What we are going to do, so there is a winter autumn program going on for the COVID and the flu vaccine similar time.
Okay.
So the COVID will carry on until January,
Mhm.
and the flu vaccine usually is from September till March. This is a time that we're still giving the flu vaccine. So when the numbers start tailing down in our hub, we will go in the wards to see any of our older adults who have been poorly and could not go to the to find the vaccine. So we are going to them, offering them the vaccine if they want it.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
But the good thing, the chemist is there as well.
Yes.
So
this is something excellent what they're doing, like they're going to them.
Yes.
yes, but because we don't talk about it openly, we don't know what goes
Yeah.
on in the NHS, or not just the NHS, in any hospital. But it's nice to have you. We're going to come to nearly an end now.
Yes, we're about
So
to. Yes.
it's really
We-
nice to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
I
for
bet
having
you'll
me.
be coming again.
I'm
Definitely.
I
I'm
can't
here
wait to hear
anytime.
this.
It
I'm
was-
here anytime, and
Yeah.
please just let us know, and then I'm sure. My matron always wants us to promote what we are doing. So
Yeah.
Excuse me, the matron, they're not matron. I used to remember them with their hat on.
oh yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes.
those was the good old days. And when you go in hospital, you could smell the lovely,
Yeah.
the way the hospital. You
Oh.
know you're in hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, but things change. Everything
Yes,
changes. Well,
Yeah, it's
so-
we're trying to. The demands are getting higher. There is more disease to treat. There's
Yeah.
more illness. There's more surgery going on, and
Yeah.
hopefully, we are doing our best. We are showing people that we're doing our best to catch up. I understand, there are lots of other things that comes and stops us from doing that. But
Just
I know
is
there
in
is-
life. That's
Yeah,
it.
there are
know.
challenges always.
there
Yes.
are always
Yeah.
challenges.
Challenges, yes.
But the NHS is always wanting to do better and better, and to do our best for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
No, NHS is definitely doing the best actually.
Thank
With
you.
in spite of those challenges which you have mentioned, staff strength, and the winter, early winter,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
many challenges are there. So as the time is about to end, as she mentioned, as we wrap up today's episode and of the show, Happy Empathy Hour in Radio Dawn 107.6 FM. Thank you for coming, and thank you for taking out time for us. We want to extend our heartiest, warm, thankful to Kiran from Nottingham University Hospitals
Mhm.
Thank
for
you.
taking out time for us. And thank you very much, Kiran.
Thank
And
you.
we would like to have you again on our show for shedding more light on importance of vaccines and the things and how they save us, and
Yeah.
clarify the myths.
And
Yes.
say hello to the hospital for me.
I
Yeah.
will.
From both of
Thank
us,
you.
isn't
I
it?
will.
You know what's going to happen now. When he go leave here now,
Yeah.
and he go to the he's never going to forget me. You.
I have
Yeah.
never forgotten you from
No,
last
I
time.
would. Vishal.
And Michelle.
Yes.
What do you
as-
mean you haven't forgotten me?
Because you are somebody who wants the best for other people. You
Yes.
are always helping people, and why would you forget somebody like that?
Yes. So good souls are always remembered. Good
Of
people are
course.
always remembered, and
Yes.
she's doing a good thing
Oh,
for
thank
community.
you.
And we need more individuals and
Exactly.
people to come forward in the
Yes.
community to help each other.
Yes.
That's the most important thing, and help NHS as well.
By
So-
doing that, you're helping the NHS.
Yes,
Exactly.
that-
Yeah.
we need
Thank
more
you.
people.
We need
That's-
more people like
Yeah.
you. Yes,
So on
definitely.
air, I'm just saying to our listeners also, thank you for listening us, me and Pam, and bearing
Yeah,
us on
thank
every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. But as we mentioned, our message for today is we need more people from community and individuals to assist NHS and respect the staff from the abuse and all those things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also the injection, what we
Yeah,
talk about,
please,
because the
please.
winter is coming
Coming,
on now,
yes.
and a lot of people hasn't got eating in the house, food
Yeah.
in the house. Let's check on them as well.
Yes,
You know, but if you can encourage them, and they need the vaccination,
please.
let a friend go with them, have it, even if they agree to stay over a couple nights,
Yeah.
just to check if there's any side
Yes.
effect.
Right.
You know, I think we all will be grateful, but at least we put that information out
Yes,
there.
we have put the message across.
Thank
That's
you.
the most important thing. So remember, like what I want to give to my audience and listeners also a message that remember together we can build healthier and stronger communities. That's very
exactly.
important.
Yes.
And stay connected on social media with Radio Dawn 107.6 FM. You're listening to Happy Empathy Hour, which is 4 to 5 p.m. And our social media channels, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can see us on there. And don't forget to join us next week on
If
our
life's
show.
spare.
If life's
Ah.
spare,
Yeah.
inshallah.
Ah.
You have got
So-
your vaccine, right?
Yes. Yes.
So,
Right, so
with this message, any message from you, Kiran, we will just wind up to
No,
our audience.
What I would say, please, you know, if you have got any worry about vaccine, you know, we are here to help, and you know, please come and talk to us about it. Don't risk lives, and the vaccine is not just about the one person who gets the vaccine, it's about the whole community who's protected from
Yes.
it. If you're protected, you don't spread something to somebody else, then the other person is protected as well. So
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
and thank you so much for coming.
Thank
anyway.
Thank you
Thank
once
you for having
again.
me. Thank you.
And for my audience and listeners, don't forget to join us next week for another empathic discussion, enlightening and conversations with Pam and Mashal. Until next time, this is Pam and Mashal signing off from Happy Empathy Hour, and with love and lots of care and reminder for all of you to stay safe.
Yes.
That's very important.
Thank
Stay safe wherever you are. Goodbye, Allah Hafiz, and take care.
And
And
we
thank
all,
you.
and we all love our listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
take care.
Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What you